Kamala Harris picks Tim Walz as running mate, a comprehensive look. Kamala Harris, the current vice president and Democratic front-runner, has announced Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate for the upcoming election. This strategic selection is seen as a critical move in the evolving landscape of the presidential race, especially after President Joe Biden's surprising exit from the race. Background on Tim Walz. Tim Walz, a 60-year-old politician, brings a multifaceted background to the Harris campaign. Before entering the world of politics, Walz spent over 2 decades as a high school teacher. His career in education reflects his deep commitment to public service and community engagement. Additionally, Walz has a substantial military background, having served in the Army Reserves, which adds a layer of experience and credibility to his profile. Walz's entry into politics began in 2006 when he was elected to Congress. He achieved a significant political milestone by unseating a 6-term Republican incumbent in one of Minnesota's more conservative districts. During his time in Congress, Walz focused on issues related to agriculture and veterans affairs, leveraging his military experience to advocate for better support for service members and their families. One notable aspect of Walz's early political career was his relationship with the National Rifle Association (NRA). Initially receiving an A rating from the NRA, he later shifted his stance on gun control following the tragic Parkland school shooting in 2018. Walz's support for stricter background checks marked a departure from his previous positions and highlighted his willingness to adapt his views in response to pressing national issues. Governorship and progressive agenda. In 2018, Walz transitioned to the role of Minnesota governor. His campaign for governor was marked by a promise to bridge divides and work collaboratively with Republicans. Walz's victory was decisive, winning by more than 11 percentage points. His tenure as governor has been characterized by a commitment to progressive policies. Notable achievements under his leadership include the implementation of a program to provide universal school meals for children, support for codifying abortion rights, and the legalization of recreational marijuana. Walz has also been a strong advocate for addressing climate change and investing in infrastructure. His approach to governance reflects a blend of progressive values and pragmatic solutions. This has earned him a reputation as a leader who can navigate complex political landscapes while pursuing meaningful reforms. Challenges and criticisms. Despite his successes, Walz's governorship has not been without controversy. His handling of the aftermath of George Floyd's murder in 2020, and the subsequent civil unrest in Minneapolis, drew significant criticism. Critics argued that Walz was slow to mobilize the National Guard to address the violence, which some felt exacerbated the situation. Walz eventually deployed the National Guard 3 days after the murder, a decision that was unprecedented in the history of the Minnesota National Guard. In response to the unrest, Walz signed a police reform bill in July 2020, which banned chokeholds in most cases and mandated that officers intervene if they witnessed excessive force by colleagues. This legislation was a step towards addressing systemic issues within law enforcement, but it also underscored the intense scrutiny Walz faced during a challenging period. Walz's role in the Harris campaign. In recent weeks, Walz has emerged as a vocal critic of Donald Trump and his running mate, JD Vance. Walz has described their behavior as weird, a characterization that has resonated with some voters and set the tone for his role in the Harris campaign. His straightforward, sometimes combative style is expected to complement Harris's campaign strategy as they prepare to take on the Trump-Vance ticket. Walz's selection is also seen as a strategic maneuver to appeal to key voter demographics. His strong connection with rural voters, coupled with his progressive achievements, positions him as a candidate who can bridge diverse political and geographical divides. His ability to engage with both rural and urban voters makes him a valuable asset in the campaign's efforts to secure crucial battleground states. Looking ahead, the Democratic National Convention. As the Harris-Walz ticket gears up for the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, Walz is anticipated to play a prominent role. The convention, scheduled for the week of August 19, will provide Walz with a significant platform to introduce himself to a broader audience. His address is expected to offer insights into his background, values, and vision for the future, helping to solidify his place on the ticket and rally support among Democratic voters. The Trump campaign, which has targeted Minnesota as a potential battleground state, will be closely watching Walz's performance and the impact of his campaign strategy. With Trump and Vance making appearances in the state, the competition for Minnesota's electoral votes is expected to intensify. Conclusion: Tim Walz's selection as Kamala Harris's running mate marks a pivotal moment in the 2024 election. His blend of educational and military experience, coupled with his progressive achievements and candid approach to political critique, positions him as a dynamic and influential figure on the Harris ticket. As the campaign unfolds and the Democratic National Convention approaches, all eyes will be on Walz to see how he shapes the narrative and contributes to the campaign's efforts to win over voters and secure victory in the upcoming election.